So the only gloves I could find are the little cheap ones from the dollar store, but they ought to do the job in terms of not getting paint all over my hands and my fingernails, which I've been painting earlier today, so too late. But anyway, this will work. Again, they're kind of noisy, so they have sort of perhaps an ASMR experience. Anyway, so a 12 by 12 canvas. I don't know how many ounces of paint you need. Like I said, I have way too much paint here, but I'm going to do, I'm just going to layer the paints in, and a little bit at a time, and I think they're all the right consistency. I've stirred them to ensure that I feel like they are. And we're just going to layer each paint just for sort of contrast. Dark, light, dark, light. Put some gold in. Not to put too much gold in because sometimes the gold really does get carried away. Let's see how this goes. A little bit of, I'm not going to do the white, as I just said. I'm going to try and use this pistachio color. Homemade pistachio. I have this lovely blue, but I don't have a lot of it left, so I'm going to just put a little layer here. And some more gold. Goodness, I wasn't even paying attention to make sure I'm on screen there. Some more purple. These paints have been kicking around for a while, so I really want to get rid of them soon. So trying to do just that by using them in these pours. Let's see. Just a lot of pistachio there. I probably don't need that much. Since I'm using a lot of the green, I might stop using the green. Get more purple in there. I might try and scrape what's left in there out. Not a whole lot in there, but purple. This purple's so pretty when it's on the canvas. Okay, so I want to get my little bit of gold, just a drop. And I'm going to try and get the last of this blue in there. Okay, we'll finish off with this homemade pistachio, calling it. All right, so I probably have way too much paint for this canvas. However, that's not the end of the world. Just need to get my little piece of paper towel out because I'm going to make a mess. And I think I'll move these paints off of here because I'll start moving this around shortly and it'll make a mess. I am keeping this purple flow extender. This is actually, I had a bunch of other paints that I was trying to figure out what to do with them because I did a Dutch pour technique earlier and it was a bomb. It was terrible. I need to get the right hair dryer. I can't use the hair dryers that I have. They just create a god-awful mess. So this actually just needs a tiny bit more water. because this has to be thinner than the paint so that it, oh, sugar. It has to be thinner than the paint so that the paint will move over it, roll over it. Okay. Like I said, I would be making a mess. What the heck? I have a hole in my cup? It has to be the cup's fault. It can't be me. Yeah, so now, just thinking about the composition. So what I'm doing is a ring pour. And I'm just going to do a straight ring pour into the center of the painting here. I may put just a pillow of white paint in the center to start it off, which is the same consistency. Again, I think I have way too much paint, which I either don't have enough at times or I have way too much, so I can never get it right. But the point of these videos is to allow me to go back and look at them and see how I'm doing. But anyway, that's it. This is gonna make a mess. I know it. I know it. I know it. I'm gonna move this out of the way. This is a handy dandy spatula. I don't think I'll need that. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna pour from up high. This is way too much paint. Woo. Way too much paint. Because it's already starting to dance across and spread out across the canvas here. But it's okay. So I have this plastic laying down here so they can spill all over that, and then just try and make sure it's not straight for me, which is driving me crazy, but as long as you can see it on the screen. So I'm going to leave it for a second to try and just let some of the cells naturally come up without me hitting the torch to it. The colors are definitely very pretty. But once you start moving the paint around, I'm really hoping to see some of the blue and the purple and the green that I put in there. And like I said, this flow extender is really not even required. I might put a little bit there because sometimes if you don't have paint on the edges, nothing covers the edges and it just looks yucky. It doesn't give you a good result. So already some cells are actually starting to pop up. I don't know that you can see that. I don't believe you can. But before this starts spreading too far, I think I'm going to pour a little bit of this just around the outer edges. Anyway, now I'm going to hit the torch to this and see what happens, but I can see already some interesting cells popping up. So right now I'm hoping, I know there's tons of paint here and oh my god, if I could keep some of these colors, I would love to be able to. Like right now I've got navy, it almost turned into a navy over here and here and a little bit there. I really want to keep it, and there's some even in there. I don't know how, so I'll have to give something else up, but that might be worth it. Again, we'll see. I'm just going to try and pop some bubbles here and see how this all turns out. Okay. If we have to torch it again, we will. All right, here we go. All right, so now I'm going to pick it up, making sure you can see what I'm doing. There's a lot of weight of paint on this. So I'm going to go to this edge here first, but I'm just going to kind of walk it back and forth. I'm going to take my time because I said I would do that, and I need to do that. These galactic pours or fantasy pours or whatever you want to call them are so cool. All right, so, you know, I have to kind of, as I'm looking at this, I have to think about what I like and what I don't like. And I think what I'm going to do is turn this around. And I think I'm not a fan of this edge down here, but I want to keep this navy. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, so I'm going to try. Oh, okay, back to the center. I'm going to try and turn it around. All right, hoping you can see this okay. Turn this around. Really trying to think about the composition, what I want it to look like, what I'm willing to lose. I've been really trying to keep the blue, but I haven't really been able to keep a lot of that. So, and it's also really important to keep the center, which are all these sort of lines, etc. I'm going to really didn't want to get rid of all my blue because I love it. Okay, I'm just going to do a little bit more like this off the edge and pull it back. Okay, so I need to get used to doing this in front of the camera. So I'll just show you. I don't want to point because it might drop, but the squiggly lines, those are my center of the painting. So what I'm trying to do is move things back to the center right at the moment. Now, what I may do, because I see a lot of blue in here, I may lose some of this because I can see a lot of blue and purple here, and there's lots of great cells, and I still have, the paint is moving really still quite fast off the canvas, so I'm okay with losing some of these pistachio, we'll call them. Yeah, I'm okay with that. All right, so now what I want to do is move this back to the center. Just by moving it back and forth. I think I'm going to try and move some more off the bottom corner so that I can pull it back and stretch out the blue that's in between those lines that are down at the bottom right now. So I'm just going to lift this up. Try not to touch the actual composition, because on the sides, it's just, you know, it's beautiful what you can done on the sides here, but let's just see if I can drop some of that off, that corner there. All right, and now I'm going to move this around so I can stretch it back towards the center. So that we can see. Sometimes you have to almost flip it right upside down. Fortunately, my vision is not that good, so I can't see in the camera very well. But I am liking the way that's looking, and I like all the purple over on this side. And if I could maybe get some of this bottom edge off, I think I would like this composition. And I'd be happy today to have completed a piece of art that makes me smile. Okay, so I'm going to twist this around. And see, by doing that, you've really stretched out this area here. So now I have paint all over my arms and everything, but so I'm going to sit it down just for a second so I can actually look at the composition and see how I think about it, what I think of it. They are just, ugh, don't like them. Okay, this is looking very pretty. So I think, if I could get this back and expand, stretch those lines out a bit more, I'd see more blue, which is what I wanted to see in this. I didn't have a lot of blue to begin with, but I really was hoping I could layer it in the cups enough that I'm going to just run this across just to see if there's any, just run that torch across and make sure there's no bubbles. I think I've seen like the odd little blob. I haven't decided yet if I want to touch it or not, because if I touch it, it might ruin the composition. Sometimes that happens when your paints aren't completely mixed up. Anyway, glasses are coming off so I can get down and look. See that? There's a blob over there. I don't want to touch it. Let's see. Jeez, it's actually a full piece of something there. I didn't want to touch it. I didn't want to touch it. All right, well, when I start sliding some of this, like oh, geez, that's hot. Yeah, note to self, don't touch the tip of the burning torch. Okay, well, I am putting on another pair of gloves because those ones were so bad that I had to take them off. And even taking them off was hard to get them off my hands. Weird. All right, so I do really like this. I see there's not even a lot of gold that has come up, but the gold that is underlying in this is looks yellow, and it's very faint, so it actually looks nice. I don't know how much, you know, it might dry gold, because I do find that these paints, you know, when they're wet, they actually have a very different look than when they finish drying. But my goal right now is I'm going to try and see if I can slide all of this back down this way a little bit to stretch out the lines that are in here right now, because I can see the blue in there, and there's even purple. So it looks really neat. So I'm just going to do that right now. because the paint is still moving a tiny bit. So what I want to do here is stand it up, maybe make it move a bit by walking it side by side. Come back too far towards me, because then it's gonna start. Oh yeah, it already has. Oh gosh, I'm always getting this stuff on my floor. Thank God it's hardwood floors. Wipes up easy. Acrylic paints are great for that. They do truly clean up quite nice. Very lucky like that. This is like watching cold molasses go up a hill. I get it sometimes, but it's also quite relaxing and very interesting to see the end result. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to get any beautiful pieces of jewelry art out of this, because I keep sliding these big not thumbtacks, they're great big jumbo tacks through the paint, so it's just not going to be pretty at all. One of my 24 by 24 paintings was so nice. It had lots of purples and blues in it, and then I did actually have, for those ones, I was very fortunate to have some really nice skins left over, and I actually was able to make about 8 1-inch round fridge magnets. So they're just curing right now, but they look really good. I won't give up hope. There might be something in here that I could definitely get 1 or 2, because it's nice to give a painting away, and you know, or sell the painting or whatever, and then give them a cup, whoever bought your painting, give them a chance to just have a couple pieces of fridge magnets kicking around as a complimentary piece of art. All right, so what I'm trying to do here, don't know if I'm trying to get that blue to really, those rings to stretch out, but I'm not having as much luck, so I'm going to try and slide them on a different angle. Slide off this bottom part. There's not a lot of paint left on the canvas, so there's not going to be a whole lot of additional composition, right? So it's just kind of, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to do anything else. That's about it. Put it down for a second and take a look at it. There's a lot of gold in here, which is funny. I must have slid a lot of the gold off the canvas, which that happens. And then you just want to, you don't want to leave this all dripping on the bottom, because it pulls on the composition and does not bode well for your piece of art. Well, let's see, do I like it? I wish I had more blue down here, what I was trying to achieve, so I might still fiddle with that a little bit. And I feel like there's an opportunity there for me to see more blue. Painting for as many hours as I have been today, it's hard on my eyes, and I have a hard time seeing Oh, there's tons of gold in here. So where I said there was lots of yellow, there's lots of shimmery gold. I'll show you in a second. That looks good. I like the purple in there, and I like this sort of, I don't know what kind of center that is, but it's really creepy. And yeah, no, I think that's really nice. I wish to God I could slide this. Satisfied with the amount of blue I'm going to get in between. I mean, there's certainly lots of depth in this area here, which is, you know, really important when you're looking at these canvases. You want to make sure, which is why you layer your colors in contrast, because you want to have the depth. And you know, these pores do tend to, if you do that, you will have these little, I don't know what you call them, galaxy pores, or, you know, it's pretty much what they call them. Fantasy pores, galaxy pores, alike. I don't know, guys. You're probably saying, just stop. So you know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just stop. And thank you for being with me while I filmed